Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's April 21st, 2020. And really quick, before we get started on our lesson, we want to say happy birthday to Mauricio. So hope you have a good day today, Mauricio. And hopefully our schoolwork doesn't take up too much of your day. So I hope you have a fabulous day. We wish we could all be together. And last week, or 2 weeks ago, we had Katie's birthday on the 9th. So hopefully Katie had a happy birthday as well. I wish that we could have been together to celebrate those. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our lessons for today. All right, we're going to be doing a morning work page, day 3 and 4 of our math for today, some more spelling city assignments, and then today's reading is extreme animals. Do the question set and the vocabulary. And then we're going to be doing our vocabulary, writing your synonyms and antonyms, our 5 words. And so that will be in Google Classroom. So you'll just go to Google Classroom and open up the vocabulary tab, and you can see that we've added our antonyms and synonyms to our 5 words for this week. And then we're going to do our grammar interactive notebook activity. So I will kind of go over that real quick with you, and then you will also see that in Google Classroom where you'll just be able to open it and you'll be able to see all the answers, and you can copy those down in your book because those are things you can use during your test this week. So if you have whatever you have in your notebook all written down, that will help you with your test on Friday. So make sure you get those written down. And then in writing, you're on lesson 6 for your informational writing. So you're really coming along. There's only 10 lessons. You're very, very close to being finished. So I can't wait to see the great papers that everybody writes. And then we are going to do a topic 12 assessment. I'll go over it in the video. I'm not going to collect that for a grade. I just want to work on it together. And then, of course, anything on your choice that you want to do. We have new things in IXL this week. All right, let's cruise on down here to our morning work. All right. So we're going to read the sentence and we're going to write it's or its to complete it. So the difference between these two, its, ITS, is a pronoun that is referring to a thing. And its with the apostrophe S is a contraction for it is. So one of the ways that you can double check yourself is to take that it's and change it to it is and see if it makes sense in the sentence. If it does not, then you want the other it's. Hopefully that helps. All right. The building is held up by its strong walls. So let's try that trick again. The building is held up by it is strong walls. Does that sound correct? Hopefully you'll know which one to use. I can't find the laptop, but I know it's in the living room somewhere. Let's reread it. I can't find the laptop, but I know it is in the living room somewhere. Okay, so that way you'll know which one to write down. The squirrel ran into its burrow to hide from the hawk. So just to check, the squirrel ran into it is burrow to hide from the hawk. Remember, this is a pronoun, and this is the contraction for it is. Grandpa wants to know when it's lunchtime. Grandpa wants to know when it is lunchtime. So that should help you get that part done. All right, let's go down here to our math. Let me scooch myself over here out of the way. Maybe. Okay. Look at the table and use it to compare the measurements. Write greater than, less than, or equal to in the circle between the two measurements. So this is a drop. This is a milliliter. This is a liter. So would one drop be greater than, less than, or equal to 1 milliliter? Would 1 liter be greater than, less than, or equal to 10 milliliters? And then the last one, 25 drops greater than, less than, or equal to 1 liter. And then down on our story, read the text and answer the question. The question says, how can you tell that the genre of this story is a fantasy? So we're going to read this, and then you're going to write a sentence to say how you can tell this is a fantasy, a story, make-believe story of a fantasy. Please don't eat me, Red kept thinking. He knew he was the yummiest, juiciest looking tomato in the fridge, but he wanted to stay with his friends. Sir, if you don't eat me, I'll grant you any one wish, he shouted. The man looked straight at Red. Then a look of terror filled his face. Ah, the man screamed. Honey, the groceries are talking, he yelled. How can you tell the genre of this story is fantasy? It's a pretty silly story. All right, when you're finished with that, go to your math for today, and you're going to do day 3 and 4, and then tomorrow we're going to correct it together. And then here is your Unit 3 review. You're going to cut this out, separate the windows, and then you're going to be writing underneath them. So, and then gluing it into your grammar notebook. So I've put mine in there. Give you a little example. Mine's kind of a little bit messy. Get my picture to be a little bigger. All right, so I decided that I wanted mine to be colorful. So I took some markers and I just outlined everything. So this will be your Unit 3 review, and we're just going to be writing under the flaps. So I've typed it out for you in Google Classroom, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And that's where you can get all of your answers. I wrote all the answers down for everything there. All right. Let me scooch myself back over here where I'm used to sitting. All right. I can't believe we're already finished with topic 3. That's very exciting. All right, so real quick before we start our assessment, I'm going to go over to our classroom page. And so you have your writing lesson number 6 today. It's right there. And then Unit 3 review in your grammar notebook. So what that's going to look like is, right. So I copied this page and put it in here. And then I'm hoping I'm not going to have a bunch. Oh, I'm going to have a bunch. Look at me. Lots of me in here. Oh, that's comical. Okay. So the second slide, here are your answers. So for the first one, comparative, here's your answer for comparative. For conjunction, the second one is your answers for conjunction. So just write the best you can, the smallest you can. If it has to go down below where the little window fills in, then just draw a line wherever it ends so that you know. You could also number them. Comparative, it could be 1, conjunction 2, predicate 3, antecedent 4, compound sentence 5, superlative 6, subject 7, pronoun 8, simple sentences 9, and capitalizing titles 10. So here are all the answers that you will need for that. All righty. Back to our page. Okay, so you'll need to grab out your Envision workbook number 2. We're going to be doing our topic 12 assessment to end the unit. And that means that on Thursday, we're going to start our next unit, which is topic 13 on equivalent fractions, which will be fun. All right, so we're on page 663. So if you'll get that. And then remember, as we're doing this, you can pause the video so that you can work on the problem. And then just go at your own pace. All right. So it says, what fraction of the whole is colored green? So of course yours is colored in your book, and so I'm using this so I can write on it. What fraction of the whole is colored green? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces all together. And there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 6. 4/6 of the shape are colored green. So that's our example for that. All right. So I wanted to help you out with your first one to get you going. All right, number 2 says, write a fraction to name the equal parts of the whole pizza. All right, so let's think about that. Write a fraction to name the equal parts of the whole pizza. So what they want is a unit fraction. How much is each piece out of the whole? So you're going to put in your space here. Let me see if it'll let me type. Nope, it's not going to let me type. I don't have a mouse with me. All right, so you're going to be saying each piece well, it worked on the first one. Okay. Each piece is, and then give me your fraction. Okay, so I didn't give oops, I got a misspelling here. I didn't give away the answer. I just showed you the sentence you could use. Number 3 says, this picture represents a third of the distance from Mal's house to the library, which represents the distance of the whole distance. So if you're looking at that little piece, that's only one piece out of 3. So we would need to copy that piece 3 times. So we'd have 3 full pieces. How long would it look? Would it be A? Would it be B? Would it be C? Would it be D? And then color in which one you think it would be. If we made this line, this is just one piece, we'd need to make a second piece and a third piece because it says it was 3. 1/3. Oopsie, going back too far. Number 4, the distance from Al's home to the park is 3/6 of a mile. Which point is at 3/6 on the number line? So between 0 and 1, it's been broken up into 6 pieces. Which letter is sitting on 3 out of 6, or 3/6? So here's 1/6. Is it going to be point A, point B, point C, or point D? Number 5, Ricky says each of the fractions below would be to the right, meaning past the 1 on a number line. Do you agree? Choose yes or no. So thinking of between 0 and 1, if you broke it up into 4 pieces, would 3/4 be past the 1? Yes or no? If you cut it up into 4 pieces between 0 and 1, would 5/4 be past the 1? Yes or no? And then 5C, 4/2, would that be past the whole? Past the 1, excuse me, yes or no? And then 1/3, would that be past the whole number of 1, yes or no? So I'd like you to hold on to your test because I'm going to give you the answers on Thursday. So you can check your answers to see how well you did. All right, number 6. So we're on the next page. Dominic's garden is the shape of a rectangle. He divides his garden into 4 equal parts. He planted seeds in 2/4 of his garden. So we've got a few things we need to do. All right. We've got to draw the shape of a rectangle. Then we're going to divide it into 4 equal parts. And he planted seeds in 2 of the 4 equal parts. So part 1 says, draw a picture to show how Dominic's garden might look. So that's your shape of a rectangle. Then it says to shade to show where Dominic planted the seeds. We know that he did. He divided his garden into 4 parts, and he planted seeds in 2 out of the 4. So go ahead and color that in. And then B says, explain how you knew you had shaded the correct amount of your picture. So this is all words. So you're going to tell me how you know you did it right. How do you know that you did 2/4 of the garden? Number 7, Jeremy put pepperoni on half of a pizza. He put olives on 1/3 of the pizza. What fraction of the pizza did not have pepperoni? Okay, so here's a word problem. So what we're talking about in the beginning is he put pepperoni on half of his pizza. It ends with what fraction of the pizza did not have pepperoni? Does it care about the olives? So that is information that we don't need. Okay, so we're going to cross that off and not even worry about it. Jeremy put pepperoni on half of his pizza. What's the fraction that he does not have pepperoni? Hopefully that's easier. You can draw a picture on your paper, color it in, draw pepperonis on it if you want to. All right, number 8. Scooch over a little. 1 point on the number line below has been named with the fraction 2/4. Write a fraction for the other points shown. So if this is between 0 and 1, this is how many fourths? 2/4. What's this one? This one, this one, this one, and this one. We're going past the 1. So you're going to write your fraction for this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot, and this spot. There'll be 5. Wait, one more. 6. 6 spots that you need to write a fraction under, because we have 1 right past that too. Remember just to count in order. All right, number 9. Choose all of the fractions that represent 1 whole. So if you have a pizza cut into 12 pieces and you have 12 pieces to pass out, you have the whole pizza. So 8/8. 8 pieces out of 8. 4 pieces out of 4. 1 piece out of 4. 1 piece out of 1. 1 piece out of 2. So put a mark on the ones that are 1 whole piece. They have everything accounted for. Number 10 says, Jared folded a piece of paper 12 inches by 9 inches into sections as shown below. So here's his paper. It's 9 inches by 12 inches. What fraction of the total area is in each section? So it says there that he folded it into these sections. Do you see how many there are? So is it 1/2, 1/3, 2/3? You cannot use a fraction because the paper was not divided into equal parts. So check that and see what you think. All right, so we are on to page 665, I believe. So we're on number 11. It says divide the number line into halves and write each fraction in the correct location on the number line. So we need to break this into halves between each whole piece. So from 0 to 1, break that in half. From 1 to 2, break that in half. From 2 to 3, break that in half. From 3 to 4, break that in half. Then go back and put these fractions where they go. Where would 7 halves be? Where would 1 half be? Where would 5 halves be? Where would 3 halves be? They're not in order. So you're going to need to write them. After you've put your little mark to separate, you're going to write those underneath there. All right, number 12. Lane's, whoopsie, getting a little too far here. Lane's class is painting a mural. They spent 45 minutes painting on each of 2 days. On the first day, the class painted a sixth of the mural. The next day, the class painted another 1/6 of the mural. What fraction of the mural what fraction of the mural have they painted so far? So, both days, day 1 and day 2, they painted for 45 minutes and 45 minutes. And on day 1, they got 1/6 of the way done. And then on day 2, they got 1/6 of the way done. So how far are they so far? Is it A, 1/6, B, 2/6, C, 3/6, D, 4/6? My goodness, I get tongue-tied a lot, don't I? All right, number 13 says Mr. Kim needs 5/8 of a yard of wire for a project. He has a stick that is 1/8 yard long. How many 1/8 yard lengths does he need to measure to get to 5/8 yard of wire? Use the diagram below to help you. So between 0 and 1, they've broken it up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 pieces. And here's his piece of wire. It's 5/8. And here's his yardstick to measure this. So he can only measure it at 1/8 of a time. So how many times is he going to have to measure this wire with this 1/8 yardstick? Is it 1 time, 3 times, 5 times, or 8 times? I don't know about you, but I think these are kind of fun. I hope you think they're fun. Number 14, which point represents 6 lengths of 1/8 on the number line? All right, so each part is 1/8 on the number line. So which point, is it A, B, C, or D, that means we've had 6 of those? So if you need to label this, you certainly could. We'd start here with 1/8, 2/8, and so on. We're at 4/8 here. So where would we need to be if we did this 6 times? What letter would that be? Number 15. Marco divided the circle below into 8 equal parts. Show how Marco could have done this. What fraction does each part represent? Okay, so part 1, get my handy dandy tool here. Part 1 is to divide into 8 equal parts. So we need to divide this up into 8 equal parts. So usually I like to start with the middle, go all the way down, then across the other way, and then add in how many other ones you need. All right, the second one we need is what fraction does each part represent? So if we have just one little piece, it's not going to be beautiful. My finger is trying to do the drawing here. All right, so if we have one piece, how much will that be? What fraction would you write there? They give you this big box. I'm not sure why, but the answer is not very long. Number 16 says 2/4 of this shape is shown below. So this represents 2 pieces here. Draw a picture to show the whole shape and write a fraction to represent the whole. So think about it this way. This is 2 pieces. So if we cut this in half, this is 1/4 and another 1/4. 1/4, 2/4. What do we need to draw to finish that shape, to make the whole shape? And then what fraction will represent the whole? How do we write a fraction to show one whole? All right. And now we are on to the next page, 665. Let me see if this is our last page. All right. Hopefully you've been pausing this so you can get your stuff done and not feel rushed. Number 17. Mara believes the point marked on the number line is 2/3. Is she correct? So she's looking here, and there's a spot right here, and she says it's 2/3 because this is broken up 1, 2, 3. But we always have to have everything be equal length. So do you think she's correct? Why do you think she's correct? If you don't think she's correct, why do you think she's wrong? So write a big sentence here. This is for writing. So you're going to write your sentence of yes, she is right, and why do you know that? Or no, she is not right, and why do you know that she's not right? Number 18 says, choose all the sentences that describe this graphic. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So number one, or the first statement, 8 out of 8 of the graphic is yellow. So I'm assuming yours is a color here. I don't know what color it is. Is that true? 8 of the 8 of the pieces are yellow. 8 out of 8 represents the whole. If that's true, we want to mark that. 5/8 of the graphic is green. So 5 pieces would be green. Do we agree with that? If we do, we mark it. If not, we leave it blank. 4/8 of the graphic is green. So if that is showing us 4 pieces out of 8 pieces are green, then we want to mark that. If it's not, we want to leave it blank. 4/8 of the graphic is yellow. So is that true or not true? Number 19, divide the number line into equal lengths, then mark and label the given fraction. So it says we're going to break it up into 6 equal lengths. So we need to break this up into 6 pieces as closely to even as we possibly can. And then we're going to come in with a mark on the number line and mark where 5/6 is. So where would 5/6 be on here? And the last one, looks like that's a long one. All right. Number 20, Tony collects colored string. So here's our graph. The table shows the lengths of some of his strings. So it says lengths of Tony's strings. String colors, black string, blue string, white string, yellow string, green string. And then he measured. So there are some that are 3.5, some are 3, some more that are 3.5, some are 2 1/4, and some are 2 3/4. So let's go down to part A and see what they want us to do. Maybe. Okay, A says, measure the lengths of the red and brown strings to the nearest ½ inch. So if you have a ruler or a tape measure, that you can line that up here and see what the lengths are. So we can find out, measure the lengths of the red and brown strings to the nearest ½ inch. Just the red and the brown. So it looks like we have 2 reds and 2 browns, or vice versa. All right, since I can't see the color. So after you measure that, write the measurement at the end. So right up here, after you measure this string, write the measurement. Measure this string, write the measurement. This string, write the measurement. And this string, write the measurement. And to the closest 1/4 of an inch. All right, and then on part B, it says draw a line plot to show the lengths of Tony's 7 strings to the nearest 1/4 inch. So we're back to drawing. We're going to draw that line. And then you need to put down your measurements. And then you're going to put dots above to say how many of each there was. All right, if you have any questions about that, please let me know. And somehow I got busy yesterday grading stuff in our Google Classroom. I just did not even get to a read aloud. So I'm very sorry about that. So I will get that done right now after I finish this video and get that sent to you so I can send them at the same time, hopefully. All right, Mauricio, have a great birthday. Everyone, keep working along. If you haven't turned in your work from last week, please have your parents send that to me in an email. That would be great. Otherwise, I can't give you a grade for last week, and I can't mark you as in attendance for last week if I don't have work from last week. So if you don't have it, please get that turned in. And then if you need me to reset a spelling test, please let me know and I can do that too. All right, guys, I will talk to you in our read aloud and then I will see you tomorrow. All right, have a great day.